Have you ever tried to build a strength training program from scratch? Piecing together information that you've gotten from various websites and your own personal experience, wondering if the program that you're putting together is actually going to work. And on top of that, spending countless hours of your precious time sifting through all the clutter online, trying to make sense of it all, and feeling overwhelmed by the process. If you've answered yes to any of those questions, the good news is that you're not alone. In fact, I've spoken with dozens of coaches that are in that same situation and have had that same experience. Hi, I'm Brian Reynolds from Thunder Sports and Fitness, where coaches and athletes come for support with strength and conditioning. What I'm about to tell you today won't take all of the work off your plate, but it will make the process of developing strength and conditioning programs much less painful and much more productive. Today in this video, I'm going to reveal 3 key strategies that are going to allow you to create a program that produces results, make programs that your athletes are going to love and want to follow, and most importantly, help you understand and manage the process of strength and conditioning. Just like the sport that you coach or play, every contest or competition starts and ends with a result. Strength and conditioning programs are no different. So what's the most effective way to get results out of your strength and conditioning program, you ask? Test. Excuse me, I have a question on number 4. No, I'm not talking about that kind of test. I'm talking about performance testing. Taking specific measures of performance on a regular basis, every 4 to 6 weeks, is really the only way you're going to be able to quantify if your strength and conditioning program is working or not. So the first piece of advice before you do anything else with your program is to put together a list of tests that you think are going to apply well to your sport. Put some specific dates in your calendar as to when you're going to perform these tests with your athletes, and then make sure you stick to those dates and perform those tests consistently throughout your training program. If you can consistently show your athletes improvement through hard numbers, I guarantee that they're going to be more motivated to perform the program that you've created, because they're not just feeling improvement, they're actually seeing it with their own eyes. Are you ready for the second piece of advice? Athletes will start to hate your program if it never changes. Not again! This is going to keep your athletes motivated to come back and do your program, and it's also going to make sure that you're continuing to see results because you're changing the training stimulus. Take a minute and look at this example 10-week training schedule that we would use with one of our athletes. As you can see from that example, we really don't spend a lot of time in any given phase. We're changing the program on a consistent basis to make sure we keep seeing results, and that's what you're going to want to do as well. And now finally, the final piece of advice. I think this is an area where a lot of coaches feel extremely overwhelmed, and what I'm about to tell you is going to take a lot of that burden away. So here it is. You should create your timeline or your schedule in advance, but you don't need to create all the workouts and all the training sessions at once. In fact, it's good to leave it open. Only design one phase at a time. That way, if you get into week 5 or 6 of your program and something changes, you can have the ability to adjust. And then along with that, it doesn't make the process of designing these programs such a burden for you. You don't have to feel like you've got to sit there all weekend long coming up with all the answers at one time. Just start with one phase. Design that phase the best way that you can. Have the confidence to put your program into action, and then along the way, you can design the rest of those phases as you go. So just to recap what we've talked about, the 3 big strategies that I'm encouraging you to implement right now are: 1, make sure you're testing your athletes. You're only going to have a good program that athletes want to follow if you can show them results. 2, make sure your program is changing on a regular basis. If you're spending 6 to 8 weeks in any given phase doing the same thing over and over, I guarantee your athletes are going to start hating your program and they're not going to want to do it. And then lastly, take a little pressure off of yourself. You really don't need to design the whole program up front. You really only need to design what your athletes are going to be doing a few weeks in advance, because it takes the burden off of you and it allows you to be flexible and adjust things in the event something changes. If you liked this video, please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We already have a lot of great videos up there meant to educate and support you with your strength and conditioning needs. And I want to make sure that you don't miss a thing. If you really liked this video, make sure that you share it with your teammate or an assistant coach, or maybe coaches that you know in your network. You're going to be helping them out a great deal, and you're also going to be helping me out by getting that message out there. If you're not on the Thunder Sports and Fitness mailing list right now, you've got to get on that. Right at the top of the screen here in that information box, you can go directly to our website, fill out a form, and join that mailing list so that you're getting these updates, you're getting our weekly training tip, and you're not missing out on anything that your competition is seeing. And then finally, leave a comment down at the bottom section of this video, telling me about a time that you tried to put a program together and maybe some of the struggles that you had with it. I promise to answer any questions that you leave down there, and I really am looking forward to hearing what you have to say. Have you ever tried to put it, what? Oh, back up a little bit? Okay. Not again.